Do you remember playing the telephone game when you were a kid? You'd whisper a message down a line of your friends, and by the end, it was always twisted into something completely unrecognizable, right? Well, there's another version of that game, a much darker, much more personal version, and this is one you play all by yourself. The ritual is deceptively simple. You just have to call your own phone number. But the timing has to be exact. 3:33 in the morning. Not a minute sooner, not a minute later. You let it ring just once. Then you hang up, and then you wait. You wait for your phone to call you back. Because it will. It will call you back. And when it does, you have to answer it. On the other end of the line, you'll hear a voice you know better than any other. It's your own, but it's not an echo. It's not a recording. It's another you. A you from somewhere else. Another time, another place, another reality. At first, the conversation might even seem normal, almost comforting. You'll ask each other questions, the kind you'd ask an old friend you haven't seen in years. How's work? Did you ever finish that project? Remember that time? You'll compare the small details of your lives, looking for common ground, but that's when you'll start to notice the differences. They'll be subtle at first. A different job title. A friend you've never actually met. Small, seemingly insignificant decision you made differently years ago. That sent your lives spiraling down separate paths. Maybe in their world, you took that job offer you turned down. Maybe you never moved out of your hometown, but the more you talk, the bigger the gaps become. The subtle differences turn into chasms. The other you will start mentioning people who, for you, don't exist. They'll describe visiting places you've never even heard of. They'll recall shared memories that you simply don't have. Their stories will be so vivid, so detailed, that for a split second, you'll start to question your own mind. That's when their voice will change. The initial curiosity will fade, replaced by a growing desperation. It becomes more insistent, more plating. They'll beg you to remember the things they're talking about. They'll get frustrated, even angry, that you don't share their reality. They need you to acknowledge that their world is just as real as yours, that they are just as real as you. And then, just before the call ends, they will always ask the same question. The one that hangs in the air long after you've hung up. In a voice barely above a whisper. A voice filled with a chilling, hollow fear. They'll ask, "Where am I?" Because the other you, they're lost. They are trapped somewhere in between connections. A digital purgatory, a void made of crossed signals and forgotten conversations. A place where lost data and dropped calls go to die, and they're all alone. With every call, they pull you just a little bit closer to that void. They're reaching out, trying to find an anchor, and that anchor is you. But here's the most terrifying part. The calls don't just stop after the first time. It's not a one and done experience. Now, your phone rings at 3:33. Every single morning. Sometimes you answer, driven by a morbid curiosity, a need to understand. Sometimes you just stare at the screen, your heart pounding in your chest as your own name glows in the dark, and you let it go to voicemail. But it doesn't matter if you answer or not. The connection has already been made, because you're starting to forget. You're starting to get your memories mixed up with theirs. Did you go on that vacation to the coast? Or was that them? Do you work in accounting? Or was that the other you? The line between your reality and theirs is blurring, and you're starting to forget which side of the call you're really on. Which you is the real one, living your life, and which you is already lost, adrift in the static, whispering into the darkness. Where am I? Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to this story. If you enjoy this and want to hear more tales from the darker side of things, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot and ensures you won't miss what's coming next. Until then, stay safe.